Good morning, good morning. I'm your host, Hassan Aline.
Co-host Carl Williams.
It's another Tuesday in apartheid, Michigan.
Apartheid beautiful.
Apartheid, Detroit. What you say, beautiful apartheid?
Yeah, it's my kind of weather now.
Oh, yeah, we getting there. We finally got there. All right, all right. What are we talking about? You know, it's amazing. Look like more things change, more things stay the same.
Yeah,
They stay the same, man. We just as crazy as ever.
I understand.
You know, you may say, what are you talking about now? What are you talking about now? I'm talking about April the 30th. That was Monday's paper. Last Monday, talk about we out of the oversight of the bankruptcy. Now, we out of bankruptcy. We out of this commission. That's what it is. They say, well, you out of the commission. The commission no longer has active oversight, but they're still there. They are still illegally beating around the bushes on the city of Detroit. Does anybody, how come they didn't say whether or not the city is collecting their own income taxes now?
Oh,
Is Gangster Snyder
all right.
still collecting the city's income taxes? I didn't see that in the paper. That wasn't an article.
Oh no, they ain't gonna talk about
Oh, so what are we to assume, that they're still collecting the taxes? State of Michigan, Gangster Snyder is still collecting the city of Detroit's income taxes. For what reason? In violation of the city charter. I know they violated the city charter and the Constitution of the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
Wow, isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? All these, what do you call the people that went along with it? All of those black state legislatures, senators, all of them from Detroit voted to go along with that sham called the grand theft. They called it the grand bargain, but we know it wasn't nothing but a theft.
Yeah, that's
A
all.
theft of the city's property along with the pensioners. And the amazing thing, Carl, is the fact that, they put it in the paper. They don't care. What do they say here?
You know we ain't gonna read it.
The city filed for bankruptcy. They still telling that lie. The city of Detroit filed
Took
for
the words out
bankruptcy.
my mouth. That's the biggest lie ever was told.
But you know, we're the only ones saying it.
Yeah.
How come
Yeah.
the pensioners don't say, or maybe a lot of the pensioners don't understand, that the city of Detroit never filed for bankruptcy?
Never.
can't bring-
Orr
Kevin
Who
Orr.
is not an elected official filed for bankruptcy on the behalf of the state. He was appointed, not appointed, but he had a contract with Governor Snyder.
Well, that wasn't on behalf of the state. That was on behalf of an individual, the governor.
Well, I was trying to be nice about it.
Well, hey, how
Put
you
it
going
that
to
way,
be
either
nice
one.
about the man breaking the law, both of them?
Yeah, but he representing the state.
No, he represented the governor. That's even worse.
State?
No, that's the state official.
Well, a state official ain't
But
that the...
no, he didn't have. Governor Snyder signed a contract with the man.
That's what I say.
Okay, he says Governor Richard Snyder signed a contract with Kevin Orr. That's the same thing when you sign a contract with the lawn service. I know y'all gonna say no, it's not. He's the governor. Well, you know, when you are like narcissistic like Donald Trump, you put governor on there. You may say it slipped. You don't have to say as an individual in his individual capacity. Everybody know the man is the governor, but he has no legal standing. He's not a public official.
That's right.
Kevin Orr never had any legal standing. Wasn't a public official. We said that I don't know how many times, 100 times, we still saying it. And the newspaper's going along with it. All these people talking about what happened with the Detroit bankruptcy. You had a bunch of crooks. Simple as that.
Bunch of fraud.
That's all it
was.
was. Crooks and frauds.
That's all it was.
And then they talking about the help, the pensioners. How they gonna help them? They took your money. Wasn't even their money. They never gave you the money, but they gonna help you buy. But ain't that what most crooks do?
Yeah, well,
Ain't that what most pickpockets do? They say, let me help you. This money in your pocket is too heavy. You can barely carry it around. Don't you need a little help? Let me pick your pocket. Today, today is the 1st, isn't it?
yeah.
Today is the
First.
May 1st, the Communist May Day parade all over the world. They're going to be celebrating May Day. And you're going to have a lot of people robbed. I shouldn't say a lot, but you're going to have some people robbed today. They got the checks today. They got their purse today. I don't know why these women carry the purses, sisters. Mother, please. Grandma, please leave them saddlebags at home. Why they carry the purses?
You know, it's out of habit, man. They've been doing it.
And the people snatch the purse and run off with your money. Run off with your money. That don't make sense. Habit or no habit. Oh, there are good habits and bad habits. Shouldn't we try to break the bad habits? And this is definitely the wrong day to be carrying that purse. It's amazing. It's amazing how they doing us. So they going to be robbing people today. It's a good day to rob, isn't it? The sun is out. They got good weather anyway.
Oh, yeah. You know.
It's amazing. You either got to get there early or, I don't know, man. Some of them people out cashing their checks 1 o'clock in the morning. That's dreadful to me, you know.
Yeah,
but I guess everybody.
That's a no-no to me.
But I guess everybody in that line at those machines to get your money, ATM machines. I wouldn't say everybody, but there was more people in the line that had guns than the robbers. So that might have been seen.
That's why I don't even deal with them. I do like I've been doing for years, and that I cash mine at the credit union.
Credit union or the bank, they got security
right.
guards there. Hey, go somewhere you inside.
I don't need no money that quick that I got to go to a machine and expose myself or put myself in harm's way. That don't make no sense.
It really don't, do it?
Mm-mm.
You know, the paper also stated how the city was doing. They didn't fill a lot of city jobs. They say they left city jobs unfilled. Jobs that Detroiters would have unfilled. Maybe I should say black Detroiters, since y'all don't know who a Detroiter is. Them white folks out here working those jobs, these private contractors, they don't live in the city of Detroit. So that's what Livonia Mike did. The mayor came in here for an express purpose to send the job to Livonia and the suburbs and everywhere.
Everywhere but Detroit. You look at all these construction jobs and all this building going on. You don't see no blacks on them jobs. You don't see no Detroiters on them jobs. I mean, come on. You got to wake up. That's the difference between Duggan and Mayor Coleman Young.
Well, they wouldn't have tried that stuff under the mayor. And when Coleman Young was mayor, the whole country was going through a financial crisis in the 80s.
Yeah, but see,
they didn't try any of that
the
with
city,
him.
Though.
Well,
This man don't reflect the city of Detroit. Everything he do is counter city of Detroit. We're not getting enough jobs. We're getting less jobs. Everybody going to work but us. So how is he benefiting us as mayor? Y'all, I don't know what y'all is looking at. And you hear people tell that lie. I don't know what they're thinking about. Oh, he's doing a great job. And yes, well, how is he doing such a great job? And they can't tell you not one thing.
no. Well, I guess they got some hot dogs and some chicken wings in one of his rallies.
Oh, okay, maybe that's what it is. That's all they want. Huh?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, you know, it's amazing to me how they say here that the commission was established as a condition of a financial aid package approved by the state legislature to defray cuts to Detroit retiree pensions and shield the Detroit Institute of Arts collection from bankruptcy creditors. Now, the only ones I know that somebody got a shield was the Institute of Arts. They still kept their arts down there, those
Yeah,
paintings, didn't they?
yeah,
They could have sold one of those and got enough money to take the whole city out of bankruptcy.
that's right.
No, but they wanted to say that they're afraid of cost of the pension. And, people don't even understand what defray mean, do they?
Apparently they don't.
Defray the cost. Let me see here. I'm going to go to Google real quick, 'cause this don't make sense. All you got to do is Google define defray. See what it says here. This one ain't talking to me today, huh? Defray. Let me see here. What did they say? To bear or pay all or part of the cost. The grant helped defray the expense of the trip. Now y'all didn't hear that. Defray, the definition, to bear or pay all or part of the cost. The grant, the city know about grants, don't
No,
they?
they
They got
should.
rid of the grants for the brothers. The grant helps defray the expense of the trip. So when somebody defray the cost, they're paying. So when your parents help defray the cost of your money to go to college, your parents are paying for it. And that's the lie they told. The legislature, the money was to help defray the cost, defray cuts to the retirees' pension, but we got them cut anyway. How did they cut your money anyway? And it's a lie. Wow. But it was an easy lie to tell since we didn't know what the word meant. We don't know the meanings of simple words. Is that why they say we're illiterate? Is that why the preachers jump up and down and tell us we ought to be lucky? We ought to be lucky they didn't take more of our money. That was the Reverend Wendell Anthony. Remember the pension board.
Hey, that's
Remember the general retiree right in there with him. Going along with him just to save his church, huh? Then they keep saying he got a loan.
oh yeah.
They got a loan over there for the church. Wow.
Hefty loan from what I understand. Very hefty.
So the thing is, they're telling us to our face the lies. Simple word, defray. Well, it's a eighth grade, sixth to eighth grade spelling word. And they teach the kids the definition. Most of the spelling words, some of them, they just say spell it. Don't tell you what the word means. That's how they doing it now, isn't it? So it's easy to see what happened. They lied. They said this was the cost, to defray the cost. So you got your state reps from the city of Detroit don't know what the word means. We keep telling you they don't know anything. They won't read the Constitution. They won't read the state constitution. At least the preacher, when they don't understand or don't know anything, we don't know if they reading the Bible or not. But when they get up in their pulpit, they put that Bible up there, don't they?
Yeah.
Don't they set that Bible up there where you can see it? And then they get the line to you about you going to heaven somewhere in the sky.
I was talking to Leonard about that yesterday, no, day before yesterday, and he was talking. I said, man, wait a minute. I said, no, because he used to be involved with something.
Yeah.
And he showed me, he started talking about him. I said, wait a minute, Leonard. I said, touched him. I said, you down here on earth? Why'd you say that, Carl? You know how he is. I said, man, when you owe your bills and everything seems to go wrong, and every time you turn around, somebody bothering you and knocking you upside the head, what do you say? He said, oh, I'll be catching hell. I said, oh. I said, well, I said, what if you got a lot of money, plenty of money, got the kind of car you want, the house, everything that you need? What did you say? Don't you say you feel like you living in heaven? I say, well, why you think you got to die to go to do that when you're doing it right here? He said, I never thought about that.
But most people don't say they in heaven. They may say they catching hell, but I don't never hear them saying it seem like heaven to me. They ain't hit the number that many times. They ain't got that much money from the number. But them selling them lottery tickets, what are you talking about? So they lied about it. They still lying to us. And the whole point, how do they keep getting away with these pension cuts? How they keep getting away with the takeover of the city of Detroit? Because we won't read the Constitution that prohibits the legislature from giving us a Constitution. And if they can no longer give the states their city charters, I'm saying city, the Constitution, but that would be the city's Constitution, but it's called a charter so we know the difference. So we'll know the difference. So the city have their own charters that the state legislatures can no longer give us or amend. They can't amend our charter. When they put an emergency manager in there, that was an amendment to the charter, which they can't do, which don't exist.
Legally, they cannot do it. They're doing it illegally. But
Well, hey,
we're not aware of it because
we
people
don't even
understand
know
what
that.
the law says.
We don't even know that. We heard them say that a law. We heard them say a law. They passed us by law. They gave us an emergency manager. Long as them white folks, man, the blacks don't ever challenge them. That's hard for them to do it. They won't even say the man lying. Won't even say the governor's lying, but he can poison people in Flint. That's what but you don't think the people in Flint catching hell?
They sure are. They ain't catching hell. I don't know what you call it.
The people in Flint, they're not catching hell, right? Something that the governor did over a pipeline. They wanted a pipeline. No, when they changed the water, it was going to cause a problem, but they didn't care. It was about the money. And it was nothing but a theft of the money. Somebody say, follow the money. Why do we just like parrots, aren't we? Well, don't they say follow the money? Well, how come you're not following the money? How come you're not following them little breadcrumbs of money? We don't see nothing else. We don't see the big picture. So evidently we're looking at the smaller picture. And, you know, folks, why do we believe, you know, this thing just, easy way to say it is mind-boggling, isn't it?
Well, it is mind-boggling, but when you was talking about the union, the reason why the unions are like that is because of their leadership. Most of the time, the leadership sell them out. And they just, you know, just like being in church, whatever the preacher said, okay, that's what it is. Nobody challenge, nobody go look for themselves. If he tell them that's the way it is, they just accept it.
Right on. But isn't that the people, isn't that a group of the people that got together for their own self-interest? So they become puppets, they become zombies, and they just let somebody lead them down the primrose path.
That's right.
You know, that's amazing. You know, one of the union leaders was there during the bankruptcy was Al Garrett. Yeah, Al Garrett.
Yeah.
What was the union? What's the name of that union? Council 25.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ask Me Council 25. Now, nobody even asked about his credentials. Nobody even, well, what was Al Garrett? Well, Al Garrett started the city of Detroit as a clerk. A clerk. When he got fired from his position in the union, what was that, back in the 90s or whatever, he went back to his position as a clerk in traffic court, which it had changed, but they sent him back to the courts. Oh, yeah, I know a lot of people don't know that. Now, this is who we had doing all this serious bargaining, and you want to know why you didn't get anything out of the contract. You had a clerk doing the bargaining. I never heard him say he took some courses in bargaining contract, and he was the chief bargainer.
Boy, no wonder.
Oh, yeah. Al Garrett was the chief bargainer. I guess that's why people thought he knew something. All them pay cuts we took all that time. Well, all of us know better. But I'm just saying, when we look at it, you can say somebody sold out, and the other part of the picture is they never knew anything. You know, you got the sellouts and you got people that don't know, and they don't want to come together collectively as a group to figure out what the problem is. That's what happened with bankruptcy, with
yeah.
the pensioners. With the pensioners, they wanted to come together and hoop and holler. I went to a lot of them hoop and holler meetings, crying about you know, one of the ladies that got up in the bankruptcy court when the judge wanted to hear your complaints or wanted to hear your objections, and got to talking about what her grandson said and went to holler. A lot of that down there.
Well, yeah.
They went to hollering, well, we going to have anything to eat and what we going to do. You know, these people are sadistic. The Judge Stephen Rowe, he didn't care. They were laughing at us. They laughing at you when you're talking about how much pain you're facing. You really think they care about the people in Flint, Michigan? The fact that they know their children are going to have a lot of problems from the Flint water and the lead that was in it, especially the newborn and the younger ones. The older children might be able to fight some of it off, but the youngers are going to be seriously affected by it. Very serious. You think they care? No, they know. They know what the problem was. And we've said it many times on this show. They got a permit to dump in the water. They know what's in the Flint River.
So that was intentional.
The DEQ gave them a permit. General Motors and DuPont, anybody else that wanted to dump waste into the Flint River. Nobody's questioning that. Nobody went and got the permit to see all the poison that was in the water that the government allowed, and then they turn around and say they don't know. No, they know we don't know. We don't know about the Constitution, but we had civics. That's amazing to me. We sit up here and argue, well, it's not us. See, old school wants to play your young blood. They say, well, see, if it wasn't for the younger generation, they don't have civics. They didn't have civics. They don't know anything about civics. And what is civics? Isn't it the study of government? Isn't that supposed to be the study of how the government works? Or they just sit there and sing songs and make you say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag every day, and we still don't know what's going on. Said it all the way through elementary school or grammar school. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic. Well, what's this other form of government? And mean in addition. What's this other one they call a republic? You got the United States of America and the republic. You pledging allegiance to two forms of government, and we really only aware of one? That's amazing. Is it Plato's Republic? Is it the New Republic? Well, they call it the New World Order now, aren't they? Mm-hmm. We don't even know. And so, when we say we learn about the forms of government, in reality, how did we? How did we learn about state government in a civics class that we took years ago? Maybe you didn't got old and forgot about it. But truthfully, if you want to be truthful and honest to yourself, then you might well come out and say you didn't learn anything. If we don't know about redistricting, how did we learn anything? If we don't know that the state legislature, that's the state house of representatives and the state senators, are going to draw the districts for the congressional seats. Your congressman or congresswoman may be in a different district. They might have gotten drawn out of existence like they did David Bonnier and Joan Rivers. The old Democratic Congress, men and women that were drawn out back in the day. Oh, y'all forgot about that, right? When they were drawn out in the 90s. Got rid of the district. And the redistricting is coming up again. Very important. Very important. Who's ever in control of the state legislature, they're going to redraw the district. So we just going to give it to the Republicans, right? Because we're not thinking about it. Everybody was hooping and hollering about John Conyers' seat. They're still hollering about the 13th congressional district that's probably going to be drawn out of existence. You got people running for a district that's not going to be here. And you're going to say, well, how did you know that? They've already said Michigan has lost 500,000 people, which means they lost a congressional seat. So who's going to take the hit? When the Republicans were in charge, they got rid of the Democrats in Congress. They didn't get rid of themselves. So who's going to take the hit? Now, I don't even have to be there to know who's going to take the hit. You got a group of Republicans and you got a group of Democrats. Then the Republicans are definitely the majority white, aren't they? And the Democratic Party lets a few blacks in. Now, what are we going to do to keep peace among the white folks? Get rid of the darkies. Isn't that what they always do, Carl?
Yeah.
Isn't that the compromise? They're not going to fight the Civil War all over again and save a black person's congressional seat that they didn't even know existed, or they didn't even know how it existed. Am I missing something? We are still arguing over who's going to run for a seat that more than likely won't be there, the congressional 13th district. You don't have any representation now, and you won't have any representation then, when the districts are redrawn. But how come the man heading up the 13th congressional district ain't jumping up and down about it? Why isn't John Kinloch jumping up and down about it? He won't exist there. But the Republicans going to find him a seat somewhere. I guess he's going to run for the 14th district.
Yeah, as long as he keeps his mouth closed.
Got to keep his mouth closed.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, they do that anyway, so they don't tell us very much.
Wow. Well, y'all can get on the internet, go back to Monday, April the 30th, when they talking about the oversight, what do they call it? They got it's an oversight, but it's they say they haven't got rid of the passive oversight. Oh yeah, they got oversight there, but they don't have a board. But the board can come into existence anytime they want to, like a ghost, like a shadow. They're there, and they still have oversight over the city, running of the finance, even though we don't know it. We didn't know about it in the first place. They said it was to defray the cost. It says right here, to defray cuts to the Detroit retirees' pensions. Meaning they were going to pay the money. They were going to put the money in so your pension wouldn't be cut. That's what defray means, to help pay the cost.
But that ain't what happened.
Because they lied about it. Because you had dodo birds sitting up in the state legislature talking about I voted for it because it was a good deal. Liars, hypocrites, and they want you to vote for them again. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Yeah, I know, but they're your favorite person. It's okay. Keep getting what you're getting. That's all.
It ain't gonna change.
Just keep getting what you're getting. You think so? Who you pointing at?
Listen, you change.
But who they pointing at? Was that God sent them in to cut your money? What did you do wrong? You went to work every day? No, the crooks came in and stole the money on a lie. City of Detroit elected officials, the legislative body are the council people, the people who make the law, and that excludes the mayor. The mayor of the city of Detroit cannot vote to go anywhere. When it comes to the bankruptcy, the only thing he can do is vote to take himself to the bathroom. That's all. To where they got the toilets at. You don't have a vote in bankruptcy, but you don't know the bankruptcy law. How about that?
You just sit there.
Half of those deals that were cut will say, well, we gave the water department over here to the suburb or whoever, and we created this water authority. That wasn't part of bankruptcy. That was under the cover, the smoke screen of bankruptcy. A judge can't rule to take nothing from the city.
No.
That's in the law. So therefore, they went in a back room somewhere and came out and says, look what we did. And it's approved by the bankruptcy court. That's a lie. All of that stuff that has been taken illegally can come back. But you got a mayor from the suburbs. You got Livonia Mike, and he wants to break up the power in the city of Detroit. And y'all just silly, don't care.
They don't even know that that's what he's trying to do. They don't know.
Well, why not? They gave extending everything out to the suburbs. You see all these people putting down the sidewalks there. You don't have a black on the crew.
No.
Black on the crew. Sidewalks being repaired all over the city. So the money goes to the suburbs, and all of a sudden we say, oh, the city of Detroit is the blackest city, poorest city in the country. Poorest black city in America. Wow.
Not no blacks on the jobs, and nobody raising no hair. Nobody seemed to be complaining about it.
And then they want to talk about the school system going. But it was the white folks again come in and intervene, didn't they? Breaking up the school system. Let's take some calls. Carl, are you on the air?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I was reading where they said Detroit is back in full control. The question is, of what? Then they said the city will continue to provide quality service. What service are they going to provide? The next one, the pension will have to be funded through city general funds by 2024. Yes, because we know the principle of the pension was based on pay as we go. Now those 800 or so whites they hired in city government the last couple of years are not in Ashland. So they're not putting nothing in the general pot for retirement. That's why the retirement had to be paid from the general fund, they say by 2024. That means those on the city might not have no pension by then at all. So
how much money is in the pension fund?
They're going to be in control, and I see garbage pickup is done by private, snow removal is done by private, housing is controlled by private. There's a housing commission, was separated from the city. When I look at the lighting, companies been taken and privatized. So what service are the city council and all of them going to provide? They're going to provide none because we've been privatized, and authorities, suburban, control all our assets, own them now. And they, the one, does the functioning plus city government. So that's why I asked the question, what are they going to be in control of? And that goes back to another thing. We have been under complete control and dictatorship of the city government and collaborating with the state government. That means the city council, all the city councils, successive city councils since 1996. So I heard you say that this is not illegal. This is not legal. Then I know it don't take all of us to go to court. If you know what's not illegal and we don't know, why haven't you all go to court? Because you all do know. Now, if we know, what do we do about it? Because they're implemented anyway. Whether it's legal or not legal, they're taking your pension. So what good is to holler about this is illegal? You don't know this. And you don't know that about the Constitution. Because if we don't know it and you know it, what do you suggest you should do since you all know that? That's why I'm asking the question, when you say we don't know it, what does that imply? That we should take it to court? Or what we should do? Go to the street? What are you suggesting that if we did learn what the Constitution says, that they're taking your pension, they're taking all our assets, they're doing it whether it's legal or illegal. So what's the question now? We all agree that we're being messed over. I want you to clear up, Hassan. What do you mean if we learn all these things? What do we do with that knowledge about legal law that you can't do right now? That's the question I got. We all agree that we're being messed over and we ain't got nothing and we ain't got no control. They still control us. We're still under dictatorship. But the question is, since you said this is illegal and we don't know it, so if we did know it, what do we do?
All right, thank you. Okay, we're going to talk about it.
One thing you need to understand is first, before you can do anything, you have to inform the people. You have to have informed people when you go to fight or when you go to address the issue. And that's what we're doing now, informing the people so they'll understand. So when we do go to the court, they have a complete different, correct understanding of how to fight and what the grounds are when they go to court. A lot of times, people just be jumping up and down, and you ask them what's going on, they can't even tell you. So that's what we're doing. And then once we get enough, put it out here enough, then when we go to court, the people will understand why we're going, and we can get the public support that we haven't been getting.
Well, not only that, the protests. When people protest, the protest movement, the fact that they're out in the streets or they're out in the park, does what? It informs the public. Folks start saying, what are all these people doing? Why are they talking about that? So people start at least want to know, they get interested enough to say what's going on. And some of the people change their mind. Some folks say, I did not know that. So all of it fits together. Some people think that because you go protest, the government is going to stop the next day. You go protest, whatever you want is going to stop the next day. That doesn't happen. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
All that do is bring attention to whatever the issue is, and then you got to do something else other than that to carry it through. You still got to use the process. That's just the first part of the process, is bringing attention to the issue or the subject that you're talking about. Then after you do that, then you got to move forward.
See, the problem, the biggest problem that black folks have, the minority community have, the so-called majority minority community have, is the fact that we don't want to believe that the white folks lied to us. We don't want to believe our trusting friend, Livonia Mike and Gangster Snyder, lied to us. See, that's the problem. We don't want to believe our lying eyes when we read it in the Constitution or the city charter, how government works. And therefore, we wouldn't be voting for Livonia Mike. The man wouldn't have never got in. He definitely wouldn't have gotten in for a second term. If people understood that they were lying about the pension, if people understood that an annuity was not a pension, an annuity is an insurance contract between the individual and the insurance company. We had annuities. They took our annuity illegally. So people believe that, oh, that's the city's money. The city put that money in there. But nobody, the caller, the listeners, can tell us how much money is in the City of Detroit General Retirement Fund. We estimate it is $5 to $7 billion. Billion with a B. They're not going to run out of money. The pension fund was funded. They weren't underfunded.
It was underfunded. Nobody's going to go and rob a bank if it ain't got no money
With
in it.
no money in the bank, nobody's robbing it. The homeless don't even sleep in vacant bank buildings. They got them all over the city. You don't see crackheads in there. You don't see homeless people there. You see them in houses. But they got this big building they can get in. It used to be a bank. People just don't do that. They don't mess around when there is no money. So we're just talking. People are just talking, and they don't know anything about the pension fund. The first thing would be, well, how much money? How much money is in the pension fund? See, all the do-gooders never asked that question. When they were telling a lie about $2.5 billion was in the pension fund. The do-gooders never asked that question. We never voted on the pension fund money. We never, you say, oh, y'all voted. How do we vote? Tell me, how was that a vote? And they send you a ballot that's illegal, a ballot that they made up. Most of you don't even know that the government makes up those ballots, called a Form 14 ballot. The government makes up those votes. You just don't have a vote.
And you don't change the ballot.
And they changed the ballot. And on the ballot it said, well, your vote is whether we take 25% of your money or we take 4% of your money. That's crazy. Now, when you have a vote on the taxes, do it say we're going to take 10 meals of your money or we're going to take 50 meals of your money? No, they say yes, you want to give the money, or no, you don't. But what the problem is, the listeners in your mind, you say, oh, they wouldn't do nothing like that. You're lying on the man. Now we're lying. We're accused of falsehood. Now, they won't come out publicly and say it, but in their mind, nobody would do anything like that. Well, that's what was done. And that's the problem. You've heard a lot of people talk about what happened in the bankruptcy and whether or not who voted on it, but you never heard them say that. They won't say the facts. And so, far as I'm concerned, they're representing the other side. They want to talk about how many people voted when we don't know how many people voted. If you don't know how many people voted, how are you going to talk about it? They checked the ballots out in California somewhere, not here in the city of Detroit. They don't want you to know your name was separated from the ballot. What's his name? Cedric somebody. But his name's Cedric. I can't think of his last name. Was a member of the Retirees Pension Board went to court and would not say that his name was on a separate sheet. He know it, but his lawyer wouldn't say it, the double agent. The double agent, they say, oh, here, Judge, look, he voted. How do you know the man voted and you got a right arm and a left arm and one of them missing? One of them missing. But both hands were clapping. Come on. In order to clap, you got to have both of them moving, don't you? Your hand's going to be adjoined to your arm, so both of them swinging together to clap. So if one missing, there was no clap. That's the problem. But we're going to go over to 10:30. Don't go anywhere. We're going to go over. We're going to continue the conversation. We just want you to know we're going to be here to 10:30. Now, we want to get into this. It's very simple. The people that are calling us, and I'm glad they're calling. I'm glad they're trying to tell us in so many words what the paper said. But they missed the best part on that defrayed to cut. Defray means to support, help, pay the money. They didn't pay any money. They cut our pension. They lied about it. See, it's in the paper. One of the callers just called in here, read everything but the word defray, because it don't support his position. It don't support the lies that we've been told. Wow. Isn't that something? Or maybe we just don't understand what the word defray means. Don't even know what the word means. Won't look it up in the dictionary. Won't. It's on your cell phone. You can Google defray. And they'll tell you what it means. See, that's what we're, and then they say, well, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? How do you get support for something and the people don't even know what you're talking about? They believe the other side. They'll say, well, black folks don't know how to run a city. You hear about the bankruptcy. They say, well, them Negroes, that N-word, they don't know how to run nothing. And you talking about money? Yeah, they can play basketball and they can sing and dance, but you know they don't know how to run nothing. That's why what took them so long to get a white mayor? They stole the money. They told all kind of lies. Now the black folks, where they at working the city jobs? They gave them to the white folks. They're all out in the suburbs. But it's okay with you. Because most of you feel like that's the way it's supposed to be.
You got to be sick if you think that too. You got to be sick.
I say
or
most of
insane
them.
if you think that.
They got to be most of them. They're not saying anything. What are they saying?
Well, nothing.
What are they saying?
Never saying anything.
They're going to try to blame. How you going to know? How you going to say they're going to run out of money and the paper won't even tell you how much money is in the pension fund? How many billions of dollars are in the pension fund? Well, how come they didn't cut the police and fire? And you'll say, well, the police and fire didn't vote for it. See how little you know? The police and fire don't have an annuity account. They didn't have an annuity, which was money, which was a contract between an insurance company and that police or fireman. An annuity is a contract between the insurance company and the city worker, the individuals. They didn't have one. So where was the money? How was they going to take the money? How were they going to take the money? It's a lot of people right now don't understand it. How close are we to the hour?
Yeah, 1 minute.
No, we got a few more. Our clock is a little fast here. They don't want us to go over. But we're going to go to a top of the hour mandatory station break. Don't go anywhere. We're coming right back. Go get your cup call for coffee or whatever. Call your friends and tell them we talking about this pension fund. We talking about the oversight, this oversight committee that don't have any authority, don't have any teeth. The only people believe in them are the ones in the city of Detroit. The man Flint told them to go to hell, didn't she? She says, I'm going to go to court. Don't worry, we'll be right back.